Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to the Scrappy Inspiration Group YouTube and Instagram Hop. It's a fall Halloween scavenger hunt. Yeah, and there are 31 things on the list because everybody put in something. I won't be putting all 31 on the layout, but my friend Scrappy Kathy, she probably will. She has got that down pat. I'm scrubbing these two photos of Reagan on Halloween, so I'm going to go more with the Halloween theme than the fall theme. And when it's all said and done, I'm only going to have 10 out of the 31 things on my layout. I'm showing all the dies that I plan to use and that punch, but I'm not going to end up using the punch. And I'm also showing that print text paper because that is one thing on the list. If you tore it out of a book, you got a bonus point, but I just used a paper that had text on it. It is in French though, so I can't even read it to you. I'm using black soot to distress the edges while I tore it too, and I'm putting it on the other paper. And one of the things was to use a pattern paper, but not Halloween or fall, but themed. Well, this was a collection. It's Bo Bunny, the red one, and it is Bo Bunny, and it was called Serenity. And this one, I believe, was Serenity Damask. And the other paper was a love one. And so I'm sure those were love words in French on that paper. I used my dies and I cut out several things. You can see them all laying there. And I think I ended up cutting something else out. But the one I did for the spider web, it's like a really light silver, almost white glitter. And I did the one big one and I think two of the small ones, but I ended up cutting apart maybe three of the small ones. I can't remember. And I put the spider, that's the Tim Holtz spider web, and I put the spider on top of the silver part and I kind of offset it a little bit, like there's extra webbing on there. And this is my cauldron, which I love playing with. And the last time I did a layout using it, I had feet sticking out, and I thought, how cool would it be right there at the end when I was almost done if I put sequins there like bubbles? So that's what I decided I was going to try to do this time. I don't know if I could do better with practice, but just glancing at it, it does look like bubbles. I did ink the vellum. Oh, and vellum was one of the things, so I do have vellum on there. I inked it in green, so if any of the parts showed on the vellum, that it would be green. And yeah, I just kind of put the bubbles tumbling out. And I think I need one of those jewel pickers if I'm going to do anything like that very much. Usually my sequins are far enough apart that they don't move when I put the next one down. However, doing this, it's wet glue, and yeah, they moved a little bit, and I had to keep doing them over. It took me a little while, and the whole time I'm thinking, if I had a jewel picker, I don't have a jewel picker. I had my fingers, and they were in the way a lot. I am putting my skeleton on the cauldron, and I thought it might look cute if he was climbing into the cauldron. And then when I was putting him on there, I thought, well, that leg's not going to show anyway. I can have it sticking up out of the cauldron so you can see his foot sticking up there. But his knee is bent and he's climbing in. And I got him tilted just a tiny bit because I thought, well, if I was climbing in, I'd probably be tilted a tiny bit. Or maybe more than a tiny bit. Um, oh, I am putting black behind his face so that it'll look dark back there. And I'm not going to do any highlights in the eyes, so because technically, he's a skeleton, he don't have eyes. And I'm not going to highlight the ghost's eyes either, although I did consider it. But since I used vanilla cardstock for both of them, and my white gel pen's white, I decided I wouldn't put it on that one either. I am putting him on foam tape, and I'm going to tilt him over the top of the head of the skeleton like he's getting ready to give a push to get him on down in the cauldron. And yeah, I like sometimes I like layering my embellishments and stuff, and other times I like to do a scene. And Halloween's one of the ones I like to do a scene on, especially. And Christmas, I like to do scenes on them too. But yeah, I have fun with the die cuts making scenes. And my cauldron, last time I didn't have a fire, but I thought I'd have a fire this time. And so I'm using some wood grain that I thought looked weathered and worn, like it was seasoned, as they call it. I do have a wood stove, and I try to make sure when I buy wood for it that I buy seasoned, because it does burn so much better. So I wanted to have the same kind of wood for my fire here. And then, of course, I wanted flames. So I'm using my maple leaf punch for the flames in two different colors of glittered cardstock. And I forgot to mention that I used a cream colored pencil, and I did little ovals on the ends of the piece of the woods to make them look more dimensional, and looks like, the wood got cut off right there. I put 4 down first, but the more I looked at it, the more I thought I needed that one more and have 5, an odd number, and fill in the spot that there is there. And 2 of them I put up on foam tape, and 3 of them I glued right down to the layout. And I don't know if I mentioned it yet or not, but I did use white ink on the cauldron. I've done the voiceover a couple of times. It's hard to tell what I mentioned and what I haven't. But I used white ink to add more dimension to the cauldron, so the edges would look like the lights reflecting off of the edges. And yeah, I think that's all I do to my fire right there. And I am done. I'm going to put my photos down. Normally, the one that looks like they're farther away, I put towards the top, because, I was taught in art school, high school art, that to put in the foreground the larger things, and everything else go towards the top of the page, getting smaller, and, well, painting or sketch. And so I usually do that. However, I didn't do it on this layout because I was having a hard time figuring out how I was going to get everything I wanted on here and still get both of those photos. And those photos are of Reagan. One's outside and one's inside. One, she has her wig on, one she don't have. And the one outside, I'm going to have to put some journaling on the back, just in case she forgot where she was at that day. It's a little town north of here, and they have a campground. And, our Halloween's usually still nice weather. And so a lot of people, especially retired people, show up and they set up camp, like the weekend before Halloween and Halloween weekend. And they'll have all their decorations set up in front of their RVs and campers and everything. And she's with one of the decorations here. And they also pass out candy, so the kids have lots of fun. I was trying to figure out where I wanted these, well, they're cut aparts. And I think all of them are Teresa Collins. Well, that one with the toadstool isn't. But the others, I think, are. And I fussy cut them out a long time ago. And I know the skinny ones were hollow. Let's see, Haunted Hollow. Because I actually cut it out too, and it's laying there in the bag. But I can't remember what the others are. Well, the bigger ones, they were Pebbles, I believe. But yeah, when there's a page like that, it's so hard to resist not cutting it out, even though they got good stuff on the back side too. um, I'm going to pull out my list. While I'm putting this stuff on there, you can watch me put it on there, and I'm going to go over the list a little bit. Well, the 10 things that I managed to get on here. Oh, and before I do that, I better mention that down there below, you will see links to everybody else that is doing the hop today. They're going to be using the same scavenger list, and they probably got more than I have on the list on their layout. I got 10, and there's still 21 more there. And Scrappy Kathy probably will get all of them, because she is awesome like that, and her layouts turn out so cute and so fun, and she's manages to get them all on there. I don't know how. she does that load thing, layout a day, and they have different things they can put on there, and she is really good at getting them on there. So she has experience. I have not. One of the things is cut file or die. I have a die, and if it was one of the things that you had a bonus for the more you got, I might have got my points up there. But it has thread too, and technically, you know, that eyelash trim that I put on there down that strip is thread, but I'm not going to count it. I didn't count it as one of my 10, but I just thought I'd mention it. Pattern paper, use a theme paper, not fall or Halloween, for an extra point. Well, mine is themed. It's Serenity, and this one's Serenity Damask, but I'm not sure if it qualifies. So I didn't take the extra point. I don't, but yeah, if it qualified, you know, I'll be sure to take it. Sequins, an extra point if you made a shaker pocket. Well, I didn't make a shaker pocket, but it did take me a while. And yeah, if I'd put some plastic over the top and not glued them down, I could have had it. But I wanted them to come out and over the top of the cauldron. And I'm going to have some going up in the air before the layout's over. Let's see, a cat. I got a cat on there. And I didn't even get the one that I put on here. I did Enamel Dots Nuvo Drops, one or the other. And I don't have any of them on here. Orange. I do have orange on my layout. Text print, an extra point if it's from a book. Well, I have text print, but it is not from a book. It's in French, which I mentioned. But yeah, I wonder if I could get an extra point for being in French instead of text out of a book. I got vellum on there. It is on the cauldron, and I inked it green so that if, you know, you seen it instead of a bubble. A blackbird. Mine was gray, and I took the Sharpie and made him black, so I qualify for the blackbird. And pumpkin or gourd, and I do have pumpkins on there. So that's the 10 that I got on my layout. But I did have super fun getting those 10 on there. I went to put my title, and I used Echo Park letterbox letters, you know, which aren't very big, but they're adorable. And I used that silvery glitter paper also. And when I went to lay the S down, you really couldn't see it, not even in person under the bright lights. So I knew y'all wouldn't be able to see it on the video. And I thought, well, I want them to see it when they're looking through the album. So I put it on a banner instead. So my title's Spooky Halloween. And then I guess everything else is like subtitles. But I got to looking at it, and I love that eyelash trim that I put behind that text paper. So I decided to pull out some more and cut it apart and kind of tuck it here and there. The first few I put smaller pieces, but then I get more heavy-handed and tuck like more under each one, and I like that better. I went ahead and left the ones that didn't have as much, but I do like the ones better that have more. And I'm just going to kind of tuck it here and there on the layout. And yeah, I've used it on Halloween layouts before, and I always thought it was fun. And it's eyelash trim, so just remember the long one in case you're wanting to get some to put on your layout. And I think that's about it. Once I get that on there, let me look at my layout here. I put the sequins that look like bubbles going up in the air, and I don't think I put anything else on there. So yeah, like I said, it was super fun to do. So if you want to do it and post it on social media, tag me. I'd love to see it and see what you did with the list of 31. I don't know if it's going to end up somewhere or not. I tried to put it in my video, but it was a Word document, and I couldn't get it to do like I wanted, so I gave up. So it is not on my video, but it might be on somebody else's. But if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But see that black eyelash trim? It kind of adds a little bit of spookiness to the layout, but fun too. I mean, not just spooky. And see, yeah, it is a little thinner up there than it is in some places. But super fun nonetheless. And yeah, there's my blackbird that made it on the list. And see, that one's thicker, so I like that just a little bit better. But that's it. That's my layout. And if y'all decide to make one, be sure to tag me. Don't forget. But have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.